Hello everyone, it's Myung Jan. Today I am going to read All Aboard Level 6, Chapter 8, The Blueberry. Activity 2 on page 66. Read and listen. Find the secret message. Matt, Megan, and Edward climbed out of the cave. It was night, but it wasn't dark because the moon was shining brightly. They were in the middle of a forest. Show me the compass, Megan said to Matt. Oh, she looked at it and started walking through the trees. Edward and Matt followed. After a few minutes, she stopped. That's strange, she said. The trees have been cut down. And look, some blueberry bushes have been planted. Great, said Matt. I love blueberry. There are only a few, said Megan. Most of the berries have been picked. Let's keep walking, said Edward. I don't like it here. I've been bitten by mosquitoes before. This forest is scary. Stop moaning, said Matt. Uh, in Unit 8, we are going to study present perfect passive voice. So, like have been cut, have been planted, have been picked, or has been bitten. These are the present perfect passive voice. Page 67, Activity 1, we are going to read and listen to the story, then act it out. Hands off! Those blueberries are mine. What are you doing here? We're looking for the golden key. Do you know where it is? The golden key? It was given to the princess. She lives in the castle on the mountain. You can't go near the castle, you'll be attacked by the enormous dogs. But if we get past the dogs, we'll find the keys. No chance. You'll be caught by the guards. You'll be thrown into jail. You won't be released for years. Oh, I don't like this. Activity 2, we are going to study uh, the passive voice. 수동태, 미래 수동태, 미래형. So enormous dogs will attack you. You can change that into passive voice. So you will be attacked by the enormous dogs. And you will do to number 2, 3, 4. Page 68, vocabulary. All right. Number 1, read, number the pictures. Number 1 was Kyle's birthday last Friday. As he was leaving school, he said to his best friend James, "Do you want to come over for pizza this evening?" But James turned down the invitation. He said, "Sorry, Kyle, some friends have turned up at my house, so I can't go out this evening." Number 2, when Kyle got home, his mom, dad, and sister were out. He sat on the sofa and turned on the TV. The programs weren't very interesting. I'm bored, he thought. Kyle turned off the TV. He called the 2 or 3 friends, but they weren't at home. This is my worst birthday ever, thought Kyle. Then he saw a piece of paper on the table. His name was written on it. He turned over the piece of paper. On the other side, he said, "Look behind you." Number 4, Kyle turned around. His mom, their sister, and friends were all hiding in the next room. They jumped out and shouted, "Surprise!" They had all come over to his house to wish him a happy birthday. Activity to read and choose. A few more friends turned blank at the house. Kyle's dad turned blank the stereo, and everybody started dancing. Later, they had another surprise for Kyle. They turned blank the lights and told Kyle to sit on the sofa. Kyle's mom came into the living room, and Kyle stood up and turned blank. His mom was holding a birthday cake with 12 candles, and Kyle had blown out the candles. His mom cut the cake and offered everybody a piece. Kyle's sister turned blank the offer because she doesn't like cake. So Kyle had 2 pieces. Activity, page 69. Activity 1, history. Read, find out where find out where these kinds of food were first grown. Strange food. Thousands of years ago, people only ate food that was grown near their home. Some kinds of food were only grown in one place, so people from other places didn't know about them. When explorers first traveled from Europe to Central and South America in the 1500s, they discovered the strange kinds of food that they had never seen before. Today, these are grown in a lot of different countries and they are sold in supermarkets all over the world. They don't seem strange anymore. Potatoes were first grown in the Andes in South America. In 1586, they were taken to Europe by explorers. In 1719, they were taken to North America. Before 1719, nobody in North America had seen or eaten a potato. Today, Americans eat more than 60 kilos of potatoes each year. But tomatoes were also first grown by Native Americans, the Aztecs, and the Incas. When European explorers visited Mexico in the 1500s, they took tomato seeds back to Europe. Soon, tomatoes were grown in Spain and Italy, but they weren't eaten in England. At the time, a lot of English people thought that tomatoes were poisonous. Chilies have been eaten in Central and South America for more than 8,000 years. Incas, Mayas, and Aztecs ate chilies. In the 1500s, chilies were taken to Europe by explorers. Today, they are grown in hot countries all over the world. Page 70. No, activity 1 complete. Guess which two are not true. Activity 3. Number 1. Julius Caesar once gave a dinner that lasted 2 days. 115,000 people were invited. Number 2. Peanut butter is made from fruit and sugar. There aren't any peanuts in it. In some parts of China, tea is drunk with salt, not sugar. At a restaurant called Insectarium in Canada, a lot of different insects are served as food. In 1990, our watermelon was grown in the USA that weighed 120 kilos. That's more than most people weigh. In the USA, 120 chickens are eaten every second. In 2001, oranges and tomatoes were grown by astronauts on the moon. Every year in the USA, 81 billions dollars are spent on food that are thrown in the garbage. When will I be loved? I've been made blue. I've been lied to. When will I be loved? I've been turned down. I've been pushed around. Well, will I be loved? When I meet a new girl that I want for mine, she always breaks my heart in two. It happens every time. I've been cheated, been mistreated. When will I be loved? Pronunciation. Choose the words with the same sound and listen and check. Hit, break, cheat, be, hard, meet, hit, will, I've, in, it, time, mine. Activity, page 71, 1. Read the ingredients. Choose the correct spelling. Blueberry muffin. Ingredients: 2 cups flour, 2 spoons of baking powder, half teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of butter, 1 cup 1 cup of sugar, 2 large eggs, 1/2 cup of milk, 2 cups of blueberries. Now read and complete the directions. Blah blah blah. Say how to make a blueberry milkshake. Write a recipe for blueberry milkshake. Pour, add, mix, serve. Page 72, Activity 1. Read and listen to the story. Amazing Journeys. Number 4. Lewis and Clark. In 1803, the President of the USA, Thomas Jefferson, decided to send a group of explorers on an amazing journey. The leaders of the expedition were called Lewis and Clark. They had to travel west across America, starting from St. Louis and following rivers until they reached the Pacific Ocean. They did not know if it was possible or not because the part of the continent had never been explored. The journey began in the spring of 1804. By November, they had traveled about 2,500 kilometers. They built a camp for the winter and stayed there for 5 months. A Native American woman came to visit them. Her name was Sacagawea. She had grown up in the Rocky Mountains in the West, but at the age of 12, she had been stolen from her family by another tribe of Native Americans. Now she was free, but she hadn't seen her family for many years. Sacagawea could speak 2 different Native American languages, so Lewis and Clark asked her to join their expedition. She agreed. A year later, the explorers met another Native American woman in the mountains. Sacagawea recognized her immediately. She was an old friend from her childhood. Sacagawea asked about her family and learned that her brother was now chief of the tribe. She and her brother saw each other again after many years and were very happy. Lewis and Clark continued their expedition across America. The journey became more and more difficult. The weather was freezing. They couldn't sail their boats along the river because there were too many waterfalls, so they had to carry them. But in the end, they reached the Pacific coast of America. They then traveled all the way back again. In total, the expedition lasted 2 years and 4 months, and they traveled 12,800 kilometers. The end.